My name is Cindy Solari, and I live in Eugene, Oregon. I live in a low-income housing development. I am able to live here due to the Section 8 program that recently opened up in Eugene. I just moved here in August, and it's been a transition because prior to that, due to my health and other issues, I was sharing a household with my parents. At the age of 35, day before my 35th birthday actually, I was rushed into the hospital in total renal failure due to a rare disease called vasculitis that we did not know I had until that day. It had done irreversible damage to my kidneys, and it required heavy chemotherapy and blood transfusions, and I was in the hospital for a week. When I left the hospital, it was decided that the best thing to do would be to give up my household and combine households with my parents, mostly for the benefit of my son, who was then 12 years old, so that if I was having a bad day due to dialysis or chemo, his life wouldn't have to change as far as his schedule goes. There'd still be a hot meal on the table or somebody would run him to practice. And it was supposed to be temporary for a couple years. I continued to work for those couple years, but then my health deteriorated and I couldn't keep up the work. And so financially I couldn't afford to then separate households again until this past fall when the Section 8 program opened up. So the first time I went to the pantry was very shortly after I moved in here. The cost to move in was a lot. So there wasn't the money to stock my pantry or my refrigerator, so I was struggling. It was intimidating. There was an insult to my pride, a little bit, but I also worried that I was taking from somebody who might need it more. There's a shame that comes with me admitting that I struggle to pay the bills, or I have to go to a food bank occasionally. And that shouldn't be the case. I didn't do anything wrong. Not that anybody deserves, no matter what they do, to live in poverty or to go hungry, but I didn't set myself up for failure. And I think it's important that people realize that you can get blindsided by an accident or a health crisis or a divorce, a natural disaster, and it can completely wipe you out and you didn't do anything wrong. When people talk about people in poverty as if they are failures or that they deserve to be where they are or they just don't try hard enough, of course it's personally insulting because I know who I am and how hard I worked. We're not looking for pity and we're not looking for a handout. Honestly, what we want are solutions. We want change so that I don't need to go to a food bank to get food. I want food to be affordable and healthy. I want housing to be affordable so that I don't have to choose between a meal and rent, or medication and rent, or food. I think it's really important when you're facing the darkest moments in your life that you pull from within or from outside of yourself, from others, positivity. You're gonna conquer a lot more with the attitude that you can, and every day is another chance to see something, do something, appreciate something, or affect somebody, and that's a huge motivator for me.